Hey everybody, we're here for a new episode of Five for Talking, Free Agent Frenzy Edition. We waited a week to see what would happen, and then we waited another week to see what would happen. And now we're gonna do this episode since it's kind of died off. I feel like not much else is going to happen. I'm here with Caps, the captain of the show. And yeah, we'll do this. Coming up next, you're gonna get our bold predictions episode. If you're waiting for that, we're gonna do probably an updated jerseys ranking list because there's a few new jerseys this year. And then we'll also do our way too early tier list of who's going to win the Stanley Cup, which everyone in the comments will be very mad about. So let's start this one off. Hey, how are you? What do you want to talk about?
How's it going? So we never really touched on Marner, didn't we?
No, I
So
don't really want to touch on Marner. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
let's do it quick. I mean, everybody's probably like going nuts about it. Um, you know, Mitch Marner is off to Vegas.
Yeah, and
8 times 12.
he beat the CBA's new rule by like a couple of days. Which we'll talk about the CBA when we get there, but the new rule is 7 years from your team, 6 years from a new team. And in this trade, it was 8 years from your team and 7 years from a new team. So he got
But
8 years.
but the CBA doesn't go into effect
I'm just
until
saying he
when?
beat the announcement. I think next season. I think it's
This is
next
next
season.
season, right? Oh, I
Um,
understand. I see what you're
like it
saying.
was announced like 2 or 3 days later. So Mitch Marner to the Golden Knights, 8 years, 96 million, and the Leafs get Roy. Always want to say Nicholas Roy. Um, I'm not upset about that at all. We got our third line center, exactly the type of player we needed. Is he a superstar? No, but you were going to lose Mitch Marner for nothing.
I mean, it's hard to disagree with that. It would have been very interesting if they would have gone, uh, you know, put in a complaint of tampering. It would have been very interesting what would have happened if that.
I'd rather
Um,
have Nicholas Roy than go through all of that.
it would have been crazy though, like because you and I have talked about it, the amount of things that Vegas would have had to endure if they were found guilty of tampering. It would have been crazy. Um, uh, Termination of the contract, picks, fines in the millions of dollars. It
For
would have
the
been,
player and for the team.
yeah, it would have been pretty bad. Um, but they were able to get a player out of this, not a pick, not a prospect, but an actual player off the roster. So you roll with the punches and you move forward.
Yeah,
Um,
let's be honest, it's not that upsetting. I'm Nicholas Roy is kind of exactly the type of player we needed.
yeah.
And
Um,
he had more playoff goals in this playoffs in 4 games than Marner did.
yeah. Um, so obviously, when it comes down to it, at least we're going to have to find a way to make up Marner's points, but they would have to find some really good depth players as well. And I think Roy is definitely a player that the Leafs can rely on, um, defensively and physically and all that stuff. So not an overly physical player, but definitely 6'4" and 200 pounds. Like you can um, rely on him to make some,
Yeah.
because I think he's the only right-handed uh, center to take faceoffs now. So
And if you look at the way they have the roster set up on line combination, like the lines, he's on a line with Max Domi and Nick Robertson, which we don't know if Nick Robertson's staying even, but that's a pretty two quick guys out there to make up for him being a little bit slower. So I think that's a relatively solid line, if I'm being honest. Even though I'm probably getting rid of Nicholas Robertson in a trade and I'm probably playing Cowan there.
yeah, and I'm probably putting Domi on the first line with Matthews because I don't think like they've already had chemistry. They've shown chemistry before, so it'll be interesting where they put Michelli, I believe that's his name is. Escapes me now. We're kind of filming late at night, so
Yeah, it doesn't matter what his name is. He's literally a nobody. Let's be honest.
yeah, he had uh, a good year a couple of years ago and a down year last year. So it's a project for the Leafs, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. I I personally think, and going into the Reeves thing, they're trying to rid themselves of some of these bad contracts and trying to accumulate as much assets as possible to bring in a big time forward.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know
I
how
mean, you
you
got
feel about
Lorentz
the Reeves
back
thing.
for a really good contract as well. The Reeves move is great. You brought in a young defenseman who still has a decent ceiling, and you gave up a bad contract.
You gave a bad contract. You made up for like $500,000, or no, excuse me, $350,000. But yeah, it's. I'm pretty sure next is Camp, and I'm pretty sure next is Yonkrock,
Well,
and
let's get
go ahead.
cute a little bit here with some rumors. So you brought in a young defenseman. I'm not even saying he's going to play. You still have some. You still got cap space. If you bring up just Cowan, let's say you don't even have to bring up any other ones like we were talking about before. You really don't need any forwards. Like I wouldn't care if you want to go get them, sure. But Morgan Riley recently deleted all his social media.
Well, I would imagine that he's being asked to waive his no trade clause. Um, Probably something in the works, or probably a lot of people bugging him.
It could be. It could be that.
um, but going back to what you were talking about before, in order to bring up Easton Cowan, they would have to make room for roster players or move a contract, because right now they have 23 of 23 people signed. So I think they would have to do some wiggle room.
I think contract wise, to get someone to take Riley, which I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I hope it is, but I'm not saying it is. To move Riley, you're going to have to touch some kind of like prospect piece, right? And I'm assuming that it's going to be a Nick Robertson move. Like, I'm assuming they'll bridge contract him and then add him to the deal.
Hey, I mean, well, we talked about it before, but they're going to have to get creative if they're going to try and bring in an impact player, someone who's going to play under top six. Um, you got the rumors that it's Kadri's name is being waved around.
But then if you get
Um,
Kadri, where do you play him? You already have three centers. Is Kadri going to be your last line center?
it would probably have to move someone to the wing. Who knows? I believe that they would have to do, just move some players around. I have no doubt that they'll find the room for him. Kadri plays the wing too. you know, um, but you mentioned it before. Like Riley would have to waive his no trade clause in order to bring some to make the trade work. But they would have to go out and find. I think we would have to go out and find a defenseman to replace him as well, because you don't want to ultimately take a step back. But yeah, I mean, Roslovic is his name has been tossed around,
I
and
don't
they're
even
just
want him.
it's yeah, it's like the rumor going around is that they already have a handshake deal and they're just waiting to move a player out so that they can sign him. But yeah, I
Oh,
don't
we'll
think
see.
it's
We'll see.
I don't think it's enough, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I don't think it's enough either. Let's do a little bit of like digging as we go through here, just to like point at some stuff. All right. Patrick Kane signed to Detroit for 7 million. I think that's way too much money. I think that's insane.
That's insane.
Um, Especially when Ekblad re-signed for 8 years, 48, and Brad Marchand re-signed 6 years, 32. Like Bouchard's contract is crazy. 4 years, 42 million. Like I don't. Is he already an $11 million defenseman? Basically, like I don't know.
I mean, you can see the benefits of no state tax.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you talk about Ekblad and Marchand and Bennett, they got a good thing going, and I think you could definitely say that they've taken a bit of a pay cut to run it back again next year.
Yeah,
Um,
that's fair. I mean, Provorov re-signed a 7-year, $59 million deal with the Blue Jackets, which is like what, $7 million a season?
mhm.
Like, and then you're gonna pay a guy like Bouchard 11 million. Like, I don't know. Like, it just, I mean, who knows? He could end up being like amazing, right? I think the Kings did a really good contract with Kuzmenko for 4 million for 1 year, but I the Kings team looks really shitty, if I'm being honest.
Well, yeah, I would say that. Columbus, I'm not too sure of. Edmonton, to me, probably is taking a big step back.
I mean, yeah,
Skinner's gone, Kane's gone,
but maybe
uh,
they're freeing up cap for something.
Brown's gone. Maybe.
Um,
We know we've talked about it before. We know that they need a goalie.
yeah.
Um, but
But I
in
think
terms
an
of depth,
intriguing team for me has been the Sharks. They signed Skinner.
is that why you were in the hat?
No, that's ironic. The
Reeves,
they signed. They got Reeves, right?
yeah,
They got
sure.
Reeves. They signed Skinner. They traded for Alex Nejovic from the Penguins. They got Eklund. They got Gaudette. They got Klingberg. What's going on over there?
I think it's still a project. They're trying to see what they have. I think it's a couple of years before they become very competitive. I think they'll be a better team next year. But yeah, it's crazy to see that they're taking on some of these contracts. But it'll be interesting to see what they do next year.
It
I
looks like
still
they're
think
trying to
Montreal.
try.
I still think Montreal is going to be the most intriguing next year.
Yeah.
That's to me anyway.
Yeah, Montreal did some cute moves. We can't pretend like Montreal didn't do some cute moves. Um, what about? Sorry, I lost it. What about the Keandre Miller trade to from the Rangers to the Carolina Panthers? Carolina Hurricanes. So
Um, I don't know about Carolina next year.
I don't know. I kind of think that they're doing some good stuff. Like I
I
think
mean,
they got a. I mean, well, what did that? What? Who else did they get?
put me on the spot. I
Ehlers,
mean, that's hmm?
Nikolai Ehlers.
Oh yes, Nikolai Ehlers. Jesus, that's on my notes. I just don't know if Nikolai Ehlers is the type of guy that can carry a team, though.
I mean, you did get Miller on your defensive end. They re-signed Stank over into a long-term deal. There's potential there that the little tweaks and stuff that they've done could potentially keep them at least where they are. Let's say that. Can we say that?
We can say that.
I don't think they got worse.
It all depends on Frederick Anderson staying healthy as well. But I'm just looking at them and listen. You and I know that Florida Panthers are the standard. I'm just trying to picture what they would do against the Panthers. Um, and we know it's difficult to compete with that
Yeah.
with that team. I'm just trying to think of whether or not it's enough.
What do you think about Brent Burns to the Avalanche?
I thought he was going to retire. Um,
And they paid him 4 million.
he's going to be 41 next year, I believe.
Like I'm surprised that you had to throw that much money to get him to come to Colorado, who's like a cup contender.
I don't think he'll play big minutes though.
No, he'll be on the bottom line, but I'm saying
He
for
could.
his experience, and he still can take a shot. It means a lot. I think in their
Crazy.
them in the bottom six or on the bottom pairing of your defensive unit. But t- why did you have to pay him 4 million? You're telling me he didn't want to play for a contender? He was just like, no, I want $4 million or I'm not coming. Like he's worth $1 million. Let's be honest.
Good on him. Good on him for getting that kind of money. I have no doubt that he'll succeed in Colorado and he'll have a good year. Um, I mean, geez, like, we're talking about the Colorado Avalanche here. Probably one of the few teams that probably could end up competing for a cup next year. But who knows?
What do you think about the Brock Besser deal? 7 years, 50 million.
I thought he wanted out.
So did I.
Uh, I thought that he wanted to start fresh, but it seems like, and I heard he was getting offers from teams. I think I'm not sure if Edmonton was one, but I heard the Leafs were one.
And I
Um,
believe he took the lowest contract that was being offered to him, which was Vancouver.
was it? I think Ottawa offered something too, but yeah.
Ottawa was like number one team going at him, trying to like going. They were going hard at it.
Well, he came out saying that it was like in the 11th hour he accepted a contract with the
Yeah,
Vancouver
and he
Canucks.
ended up getting like in the low 8 millions, which is like what I thought he would get. But apparently, every other team that was like in the battle for him was offering more than that.
I
Maybe it
guess
was
Troy's
term
got a
because
little bit
we
of
don't know.
loyalty,
We don't know. Maybe it was term, right?
maybe. Maybe.
The Islanders made a lot of interesting moves. I won't get deep into it because there's a lot of like little tinkery moves, but they might surprise some people and not be the worst team in the NHL.
Maybe.
And I don't, for the life of me, understand anything that the Bruins have done. The Bruins have overpaid a bunch of old people for some reason instead of just paying Brad Marchand what he wanted. Um, like,
I think there's a little bit of bad blood there.
yeah,
Maybe. I thought they would like get into a rebuild and start fresh, but
like to pay Tanner Janot 17 million over 5 years. I know that's not like an insane amount of money, but it's like, why did you sign him? He's like a fourth line player. You signed him for 3.5 million, whatever it is. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
I just don't. I mean, we're talking about big picture here. I just don't think Boston is going to do anything next year, like in terms
But you
of
want to tank next year. Next year
competitiveness.
is McKenna. That's a big draft. That's the Connor McDavid. Even though Celebrini was the Connor McDavid and Bedard was also the Connor McDavid of the future.
Do you think Boston's going to try and tank?
No, I think Boston is the most stubborn team in the NHL, and even though their team sucks, they're probably still going to try to win.
Yeah. I mean, they paid their goalie a boatload of money.
If you look at the teams from last year, right? Like I'll take a look at it for a second, but it seems like the teams you were expecting to be bad this year that got good draft picks, right? So, like Nashville, there's no way Nashville's going to be worse than they were this year. If anything, they're going to be better. The Kraken are going to finish in like a similar spot. The Ducks are going to be better. The Sabres are going to be better, probably. If anything, the Flyers are the team that's going for a tank because San Jose and Chicago both made enough moves that there's no way that they're both finishing in the bottom. I mean, it is a lottery, so anyone could end up taking that spot. But it's like if you look at the bottom eight teams, none of them like Pittsburgh is probably the worst team, but they still have Sidney Crosby and Malkin, right? And Carlson.
And now Dumba.
They have Dumba, yeah. They have Adam Graves or not Adam Graves.
Adam
Ryan
Graves.
Ryan Graves.
Ryan
They
Graves.
just don't have a goalie. A go goalie. The Mammoth, maybe. I don't know who's tanking this year because Detroit's trying to win. Everybody's trying to win. There's none of the teams are not making win now moves. I was watching a podcast about it, and it was like it's really strange that teams like the Islanders, even though they got the first overall pick, they're kind of in like a weird spot with their salaries. They still went out and signed players that are like we're trying to do well now.
Crazy.
Like
It
nobody in the NHL is going for a tank.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of teams from last year, like Anaheim. No, I don't think so.
Anaheim got players.
They got players.
San Jose
Um,
got players. Chicago got players. Philadelphia's the only one that like questionably could be trying to tank.
um, it's hard for me to think that Columbus, like, can repeat what they did last year.
But I can't
I
see
think
them
that
being the bottom three team.
it's going to be competitive next year. You still got your upper class, Florida, and I will say Colorado is up there. And then you got a lot of these
Spoilers for the
mid-tier
tier
teams.
list.
Spoilers. And then you got these mid-tier teams that are just going to try and compete for a playoff spot. But to say who's going to tank next year, it's going to be very, very tough.
Maybe Calgary.
Maybe Calgary.
Corey, we have to see what moves they make for Kadri and Anderson. That's what I think. Because other than that, you have Uyghur and Dustin Wolf, and the rest of that team is just like a mishmash of like planning. I'm assuming at the trade deadline they're going to move Huberdeau and retain contract.
Yeah, I think like by December and January, you'll have a clear cut idea of who's going to probably.
Oh, by the trade deadline, you know.
Yeah,
you'll know.
But I don't know if anybody would want to take on Huberdeau's contract.
I mean, a desperate ass team that's trying to make that final push will do it.
Yeah, but they're probably going to ask Calgary to retain a little bit.
They're going to retain a lot. They'll retain like probably 70% of that salary.
So part of the new CBA, you would not be able to get a third team. Like, sometimes they'll get a third team involved to try and take on some salary. They won't be able to do that anymore to take on salary.
Well, let's talk about the CBA.
84 games. Oh, boy.
Olympics. At least 2 Olympics we have.
It's less. It's fewer exhibition games and an 84 game season is what I'm hearing, right?
I saw someone offer up the idea that instead of having 84 games, you still take away from the preseason, but make a play-in tournament like the NBA has. Those extra 2 games you added, make it so the teams in 7, 8, 9, 10 have to fight for the last 2 playoff spots.
Yeah, I mean, it allows an opportunity for a team that wouldn't have originally made it to the playoffs, an opportunity to make it to the playoffs, maybe get an upset. But it's not happening, right?
No, not as of now.
And also the other thing that they were talking about when we're talking about the playoffs is that there's actually going to be a salary cap, I believe, for the playoffs as well, is what I'm hearing. I haven't read the details. I don't know if they've released all the details, but I did hear about the 84 game season and all that other stuff.
We know about the contract extension thing. We know about the retaining salary. We know about the Olympics. Salary.
Yeah. So, I like the fact that they got it done. There's no risk of there being a strike. But I guess the segue that I was going to get into is, do you give a little bit of credit to Bettman now about?
I think it's time to get. I think it's time. It's funny that you said that. I read a couple articles.
I'm asking you the question because I read that probably the same article that you did.
I saw a bunch of them actually.
Yeah,
the one that you're talking about was the score one, right?
I think the score one. Like, listen, he's made mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. I'm still not too crazy about the playoff format. Sorry,
I hate it.
I don't like it. He dismisses this whole no state tax thing, and I do feel that it is a factor. It does play a part on where players prefer to go to. But when we're talking about some of the good things, the game has grown. He's taken it out of the really, what's the terminology I'm looking for here, but the dead cap era, excuse me, there it is, into what has become now and what's going to be in the next few years, which is, it's going to be growing like $7 million a year, roughly. And it's not going to get to a point where teams are going to have to like make some creative decisions in order to stay under the cap.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing, and I kind of applaud him for that.
Yeah, I agree. You got anything else here?
Taves to Winnipeg.
I don't know, man. They paid for him too. He didn't get a minimum contract. Did he? Got like $3 million or something.
Yeah, and I saw an article, and I'm going to paraphrase here because I can't remember the exact quote. It could be the exact quote. The hands are there, the feet are not. They'll come, something like that, which means that I just the fitness. I'm worried about the his fitness right now and his ability to keep up
Losing
with the game.
Ehlers, you're not replacing him by getting Jonathan Taves. They did pick
Yeah.
up somebody else. I can't think of the top Goose Nyquist. I think Nyquist.
Yeah,
But yeah, you're
off the
not
top of
going
my
to
head,
replace Ehlers like 70 points with an old guy and a guy who gets 50 points.
I guess it's safe to say that Winnipeg might be taking a bit of a step back next year.
Yeah, I mean, I think after seeing them play in the playoffs, I think that they played above their pay grade to begin with, right?
Yep. I
So
don't see them doing the exact same. I don't see them doing what they did last year, next year. So I don't see it.
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And you got any more things on your list?
That's it, man.
All right, I think that's it. Let's wrap this up, guys. Thanks for watching. Let us know that we were wrong in the comments. I'm sure you will, and have a good one.